Morning YouTube, here with you on this Thursday morning. I'm in the shop, just sitting here clearing my throat. Contemplating my next move. I was online a bit yesterday ordering stuff for my Boombox, my MP3 Bluetooth Boombox. I ended up ordering the speakers that I had originally mentioned, but instead of the whole box cabinet or whatever you want to call it style, the ones for whatever they were, 30 bucks, I ordered the components instead, and it saved quite a bit of money that way, because I don't really need the box. I'm going to build a box. So anyway, that's that. Also ordered a subwoofer. It's an 8-inch subwoofer with a separate amp for it. Now this amp that I bought has what you call a low level and high level input, and basically it will have the speaker outputs of the other speakers that I have. The amp that I'm going to build, that will feed directly into this basically a booster type amp, and that will drive just the subwoofer. And the subwoofer that I bought has a dual terminals for 4-ohm voice coils, so it will accept both, the stereo inputs that way. And I'm going to flash a picture on the screen of my initial design. It's not very fancy, I guess is the word. It just basically the layout that I'm looking at. I don't really know enough about speaker design to know better. I did research it for the main thing I'm looking at is the subwoofer enclosure. Now the other two sets of speakers will be on either side of the subwoofer, so they're not going to be near as important in their sound characteristics. I mean, I'll have the which is normally the woofer will be more of a mid-range, and the tweeter of course will be the tweeter. But anyway, that's just what I've come up with so far. I may change it, I don't know. But that center speaker cutout will be, like I said, the subwoofer. Sealed cube type enclosure, and of a sufficient volume to give respectable performance from the subwoofer. The particular subwoofer I chose will work with a vented or sealed enclosure, and so I think it should be fine. Now for the other speaker enclosures on the sides, I'm gonna probably make one big one for the woofer portion of it, and the tweeter, I don't know if it's closed back or not. I forgot to even check, but if it isn't closed back, I'll probably just put a little very small enclosure so it keeps it separate from the other part of the speakers, and doesn't interfere as far as the sound waves are concerned, because really your tweeter, you really want high notes and not much else out of that, so don't really want that mixing in with the sound waves from the woofer if you can help it. I do know that much. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at. Well, the radio is on kind of a hold right now. I don't know what I'm doing yet next. I want to get that chassis back out and look at it. Now my other radio the AM radio, tube radio that I bought, is still on its way from Des Moines. I think it left last night at 8 something. It still hasn't arrived anywhere, so anyway, whenever that gets here, it says Saturday, but I'm thinking, it should be here Friday, tomorrow, so I don't know that it will, but it should be. I have this. I don't know if I showed this or not. This is a fiberglass brush, and I bought this for cleaning something, and I've forgot what it was now, but I know they're handy for cleaning certain things, you know, like commutators, things like that, you know. So I do have that here now, and that came in the same time, I think, as the antenna, or roughly the same time. Power-wise on the Boombox, getting back to that, I'm looking at, it's a 12-volt system. The amplifier runs off 12 volts. The booster amp runs off 12 volts. It's actually designed for a car. So I'm thinking maybe making up a battery. I'm not really sure yet though. So that the biggest thing with the battery, if I put a battery in, is keeping it charged up and at the same time not overcharging it. And you know, you almost have to have it switched in and out for that to happen. And I don't know, I'm sure there's plenty of meters out there, you know, LCD type, that will show the condition of the battery and things like that. I may try to incorporate in something like that into it. I don't know yet for sure, but the main thing I'm looking at right now is getting the components mounted on the board, and I still haven't bought the board yet. I think what I'm going with on the board is basically the same thing I made the top of the tube checker cabinet that I built. That MDF, I think it's a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a little bit thicker than that. May go with a 3/8 inch or something, but it's going to be similar to that. It's not. This is not going to be an expensive. It's already expensive, but I think I paid. Oh, let's see. Around $24, I think, for the speakers shipped from Parts Express, and I think for the subwoofer and amp from Walmart is where I got those at. It was $35 by the time I paid tax, and I'm gonna pick it up because you know I was 87 cents away from free shipping. So I actually tried to find something, and I did find a couple items. Then I got to thinking, why would I want to spend more when, you know, I could just run down to Walmart and pick it up. I think everything is supposed to be there by Tuesday, so I'm in no hurry anyway. So I think I'm going to do that, and gives me some time in the meantime to I have the dimensions of the holes I need to cut, things like that. So you know, I can do that and get that ready to go and not have to worry about that. But that's what I think I'm going with, that type of board. I think that would be best because it's a nice smooth surface and it's easy to work with. And I'm thinking for the finish, maybe a black crinkle like type finish. I may go ahead and spray it with a flat black type finish first, and then put the crinkle over the top of it. I'm not really sure, and when I say crinkle, I'm talking about that Rust-Oleum hammered or whatever it is. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. So, but anyway, that's the stuff I'm thinking about. I don't have any other pressing. I do have another amp coming from California. I think it's been shipped quite a while, and I was thinking it should be here maybe about the same time the radio gets here. Now this amp module that I'm getting is a PAM 084, maybe. I can't remember exactly the number, but it's kind of a neat little amplifier module, and I thought that'd be kind of fun to play around with, see what it does. So I guess that's about it. It seems like I have nothing but flapping videos here lately. Phil, you started me on a bad habit. I was hoping to get this amplifier started today, but It doesn't seem like I'm going to get to. This thing should not be a very hard one to build. I don't think. So I think it should be sufficient for what it's driving, and this should be sufficient also for the. I was trying to think. Anybody got any suggestions on something else that I can add to this to make it a little bit more complete? As far as I realize that the MP3, everybody's gone to digital music, but you know, I was thinking maybe a DVD, or not DVD, but CD player, something like that. Maybe add that to it too. I'm not really sure I really want to, but I thought about it. So I don't know. Just something else I wanted to think about. But I like to make it as complete as possible. I mean, there's probably a few CDs out there. People use CDs, I'm sure. Probably some that still use cassettes. So anyway, I think the MP3, you know, the Bluetooth is a big thing for me anyway. I like the Bluetooth function, and I'm thinking about making a main power switch on this that will turn on both this and the amplifiers, both of the amplifiers. Now this, another thing about this subwoofer amplifier that I'm getting, it is, like I said, a dual level input. You can use an input from that device, or you can use an input from the speakers, which is the way I plan to use it. And also has a selectable filter, which will filter out the highs or the lows, and that will be helpful with the subwoofer because I don't really need the highs on that. So I think it's a 4 ohm. I think it's 50 watts per channel, 4 ohm is what it is, I think. I've seen so many different specs for this. These are not expensive components. This is a Boss amp, and you guys know the Boss audio. It's not the most expensive gear out there, and the subwoofer is a Pile subwoofer, so that's again not the most expensive. But for the box that I'm building, I think it'll be fine, and I think it'll work out great. So, all right, I have groaned on. I have loaned on. I've done something. I don't know what it is, but I've done it too long. I know that. You guys have a wonderful day, and I know as soon as I stop recording, I'll think of something else I needed to say. But that's just the way that works sometimes. So, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you.
That's all, folks.